Hello, everyone. It's Melissa Pylypchuk, and we are continuing with the ICF Credentialing exam series. And today we're going to take a look at another practice question and to look at what makes the responses best or worst as we integrate the ICF core competencies. So let's dive in. So in this scenario, we have a client struggles with delegating tasks at work to another team member. During the last session, the client shared an important project they're leading is falling behind schedule. The coach supported the client in identifying strategies to delegate tasks to other team members. At the next session, the client reports back and shares, "In the end, I decided to complete all the tasks myself. That was the only way to get them done on time." The coach feels disappointment that the client did not follow through on their plans to delegate. What should the coach do? Options: to A, immediately reflect back on their last session with the client and identify what they could have done differently to support the client in following through on their plans. B, take a breath and acknowledge that the client is responsible for their own choice of whether to follow through with their stated plans or not. C, set aside their disappointment for now and focus on the current session with the client. Decide to reflect on the situation during an upcoming session with their mentor coach. And option D, praise the client for meeting the project deadlines, but ask why the client failed to support their team members' development. So which competencies are relevant here? If we take a look at competency 2, embodies a coaching mindset. Develops and maintains a mindset that's open, curious, flexible, and client-centered. We want to look at the coach acknowledges that the clients are responsible for their own choices. So that's an important one here. When we look at competency 4, cultivates trust and safety. In particular, acknowledges and respects the client's unique talents, insights, and work in the coaching process. And also maintains presence, managing one's emotions to stay present with the client. So in this particular example, we're looking for, does the coach acknowledge and address the fact that there's this thought of wanting something for the client, wanting to see the client achieve it, solve it, figure it out. So is the coach acknowledging and promptly addressing that, shifting back into a coaching mindset? Also, when we look at cultivating trust and safety, so option D said, praise the client for meeting project deadlines. So praise is different than an acknowledgement of the client. Praise is an expression of approval, and that can take away from partnership in coaching. And when we look at maintains presence, so how is the coach acknowledging something that's occurring for them internally and able to manage that emotion or remain present? So a couple things that are going on here. When we look back at the response options, what we're going to see is that option B, that is the best response to take. Take a breath, acknowledge the client is responsible for their own choice of whether to follow through their stated plans or not. Here, the coach is really embracing that coaching mindset that the client is responsible for choice, and they are being responsive in the moment of addressing what's coming up internally for them in order to stay present. Option D has that praise, that tone of approval from the coach, and really focusing on why the client failed to support the development. So that shows that the coach is not only hoping the client carried out what they said they were going to, but is also carrying that tone of approval. That's what makes it the worst.